Okay, next question. How hard is it to change insurance later on? If I start off with the Advantage plan but want to get a supplement later, can I? This question comes up actually fairly often. The reason why many of the Medicare Advantage plans cost either nothing or next to nothing per month besides what the Medicare Part B premium is. So you've got $100 plus, $120 plus, $130 plus, depending on your age and the year you're in. That goes to Medicare no matter what you do. And then there's a number of Advantage plans that are going to charge you nothing else per month. And you've got Medicare supplements that are going to charge you an additional $100 on top of that. Plus, they're going to make you pay for a prescription drug plan as well. So, and right now, you may not be taking anything. You may just be seeing a doctor a couple times a year. You're in perfect health. A Medicare supplement doesn't make as much sense to you, possibly, as a Medicare Advantage plan might. The answer to this question is a little complicated because it's going to depend on the state that you're in and the rules that need to be followed by the plan, and those rules can change often. So the rules that I'm going to give you right now are primarily going to be for the state of Ohio. We also work in West Virginia and Kentucky. The rules are very similar, but there are still a few tweaks. So I mean, give us a call if you're in one of those states. And you're wondering about changing later on, but you want to see about the Medicare Advantage plan or the Medicare supplement first. But I'm going to give you the rules for the state of Ohio. So here's the thing. There's a number of different factors that come into play when you're dealing with switching from a Medicare supplement to a Medicare Advantage or a Medicare Advantage plan to a Medicare supplement. First thing to know, when you turn 65, or you get Medicare Parts A and B, whichever is later, you have an opportunity to get either plan, no questions asked. So if you are in bad health, if you are in good health, and you're just within your period of turning 65, in the state of Ohio, it's actually a smaller window for Medicare Advantage, so we'll use that. It's 3 months before when you turn 65, the month of, and 3 months after. Medicare supplements, the rules are just a little bit longer, so we're going to stick with Advantage plans because it's short. You've got that 7-month window. You can be in any health and get any of the plans that are available to you. Now, that's when you first get the plan. Now, if you want to change later on, here's the rules. If you are in a Medicare supplement and you want to go to a Medicare Advantage plan later on, and the reason why, generally premium. You're going to decide that you've got a supplement, you don't want to pay those premiums anymore, so it's time to see about switching to a Medicare Advantage plan because you'll save on the premiums. Make sure you talk to us first or somebody else before you do that because there's a few other costs there you should be made aware of. But to make a change, all you have to do is wait until the annual election period, which at the time of this recording is October 15th to December 7th. You make that recording, or you make that change during that time, and then come January 1st, you'll be in a new Medicare Advantage plan. Just make sure your supplement plan knows to drop you come December 31st. There's only one question that's asked at that point, and that is, do you have end-stage renal disease? You say no, you make the move, you're good. That's to go one direction, from supplement to Advantage. Now, if you want to go to the other direction, however, from Advantage plan to supplement, it's a little bit different. First thing to know, to get out of an Advantage plan, generally, in most circumstances, you have to wait until the same October 15th to December 7th period. Medicare Advantage has specific rules outside of that period for getting out of their plan and into a supplement. Generally, if you just turn 65 and you choose an Advantage plan, you'll have a 12-month window where you can make a special change. or if you had a supplement and switched to an Advantage plan, they'll give you that same 12-month window to say go back to your supplement. They'll allow that. But if you're outside that 12-month window, or you're no longer, you're 66 and above, and you want to make the supplement, you want to make a switch from Advantage plan to supplement, unless there's some other special circumstance, you have to wait until October 15th to December 7th. So that's the first thing to know. After that, you will have to answer health questions, and that is key. Medicare supplements do still ask you health questions to let you in, and they are allowed to accept or deny you based on your answers to those health questions. The stuff you see about the Affordable Care Act, I'm not sure if the Affordable Care Act is still going to be the way it is at the time of this recording when you see this, but at the moment, the stuff in the Affordable Care Act, a plan cannot deny you based on answers to the health questions, that doesn't apply to Medicare supplements. Medicare supplements will still be able to deny you outside of your open enrollment or other guaranteed issue periods for getting them. So if your thought is to go to a Medicare Advantage plan while you're healthy and then switch to a Medicare supplement when you become sick, that avenue actually may be closed to you unless your timing is really, really good, or you find a company that's willing to take you under your health at that point. So that's the first, that is the number one factor to be sure about. So like if you've got some tests or treatments coming up and you decide you want to switch to a company, you may find that it's impossible to do it, especially since just about every company we work with is going to ask the question, do you have any tests or treatment coming up, or are you waiting for results from tests that you haven't gotten yet? Just about every company is going to deny you. Now, if something else comes up, you're just a little concerned about your health, but nothing's really come down the pike, but you don't really want to wait too much longer, that's different. We actually may have a shot to get you in some companies. But if you're thinking you're going to switch when it's time to use the insurance, you may not be able to do that. So that is one of the biggest factors when trying to figure out whether or not you can go into a Medicare supplement if you're in a Medicare Advantage plan. Now, the other thing, you didn't specify in your question if you're concerned about going from Advantage to Supplement or Supplement to Supplement, but what about switching in between from Supplement, from Advantage to Advantage or Supplement to Supplement? I'm sorry, if you didn't specify if you were concerned about crossing from Advantage to Supplement or Supplement to Advantage. But if you go within the same plan, switching to an Advantage plan from one Advantage to another, again, it can be done at October 15th to December 7th in any health except end-stage renal disease. That is the one question that they're going to ask you. Do you have end-stage renal disease? If you say no, you get the Medicare Advantage plan. As long as it's done October 15th to December 7th and it starts on January 1, you can make that switch. The flip side of things, the Medicare supplement does not have a time period for doing it, so you do not need to wait from October 15th to December 7th. You could do it in the middle of May if you'd like to change your Medicare supplement. That's actually perfectly fine, but they will all ask health questions. Now, if your question is, what are the health questions? Well, every company is a little bit different. And one of the reasons we've got so many companies isn't to make things more confusing for you. It's so that we can actually choose a company that will take you based on the health you're in. Companies are allowed to decline you if you're outside of your open enrollment period, which for a supplement in this state is one open enrollment period in a lifetime. They're allowed to deny coverage if they're going to actually ask you those health questions and they don't like your answers to one of them. So that means we just try a different company. But if you're concerned, and there are health conditions that can deny you from literally every single insurance company out there, including one company in particular that takes you with almost any health condition, there are still some things that will deny you from that health condition. If that happens, if you are denied from, if you have something that denies you from just about every insurance company, then yeah, you will be, the plan that you're in is the plan that you will be in. So if you're in a Medicare Advantage plan trying to switch to a supplement and you have something that's going to deny you from every supplement, we can switch your Advantage plan, but that's going to deny you from every supplement, at least at this point with your current health. You cannot get a supplement. Alternatively, if you're in a Medicare supplement and you want to switch Medicare supplements because of something with your health, and you can't switch supplements, well then you're not going to be kicked out of your current supplement. They can't do that. But you can be denied from a new supplement. So the supplement that you're in is the supplement. That actually does come into play. We do have a number of clients who want to see about switching Medicare supplements because of price, which is generally the only reason a person wants to switch Medicare supplements. They want to change the premium. You can do that as long as your health allows, but we do kind of caution people about it, that if you're just switching to kind of be in the lowest price Medicare supplement, that does cause a problem in the future if you want to try to switch again because your supplement kind of gets unstable with their rates, and you no longer can because you've got a particular ailment that's going to keep you from getting a different Medicare supplement. The supplement that you're in at the time that health condition begins, that poor health condition begins, is going to be the health that the Medicare supplement that you're going to have to help either cure you or maintain the health that you've got. So switching year by year just to see about getting a better price on a Medicare supplement isn't always the best thing to do. But so going back to the original question, how hard is it to change insurance later on? It depends. It can be very hard. It can also be very easy depending on what you're trying to do. If you want to just go to an Advantage plan later on, or if you want to go from one Advantage plan to another, except for end-stage renal disease, it's actually pretty easy. You just have to wait until October 15th to December 7th to do it, and it'll kick in on January 1st. It's almost a no-fuss thing to do. But if you want to go from a supplement to a supplement, or an Advantage plan to a supplement, which is a more serious change, you need to make sure that your health is going to allow you to be able to do that. So that is the most important thing, is just kind of the health. And what kind of plan do you want to choose the first time? And then the steps you decide to take in the future are going to determine whether or not you're going to even be able to make that change and how hard of a change it's going to be. Most importantly, these kinds of changes, there are a lot of rules involved, and the timing just needs to be right. Even a supplement, if you're going from supplement to supplement, and where you can change pretty much any time of year, even then there's still some timing that you kind of gotta want to get right so that you actually don't have any kind of accidental lapse in coverage. So it's very important that you actually talk to somebody who knows what they're doing about this, because you want to make sure that if you have a 2-day lapse in coverage, that 2 days that you have isn't the time that the big illness hits, because that is when the biggest costs are going to come up the first time, the first days of a major illness. And if it sounds like I'm scaring you with kind of a 1 in a million possibility that there's going to be a 2-day lapse in coverage, and that 2 days is when an illness hits. The reason I'm saying it is because statistically it's improbable, but it does happen. I have seen it happen. You don't want to be the person that it happens to. You want to make sure that you have a continuous coverage with your insurance, and if on day 30 of a month coverage is going to end, you want to make sure that there's going to be new coverage right there picking you up at midnight of day 1 of the next month. So very important. If you want to make any kind of change, just make sure that there's some sort of professional that's going to walk you through it to make sure that no matter what happens, whichever way you decide to go, that change is going to happen, and it's going to be comfortable for you when it does come up, and that there's no lapse in your coverage.